Bonaduce, life coach. Danny Bonaduce, life coach.
That's me. It's time for your emails, your phone calls, whatever we got for Danny Bonaduce and Life Coach. That's 1-800-252-1025. Or we gladly take and read your emails at lifecoach@KZOK.com. Life Coach brought to you by Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE. Let's start with my friend Bill in Puyallup. Hey, Bill.
Hey there.
How's it going, man?
It's all right.
What can I do for you?
I've got a 20-year-old who likes experimenting with some hallucinogenics, and he shares his experiences with me. And I told him I don't agree with that decision, and we've got a good relationship. So,
by the way, can I just stop you right here for a second to say, God bless you, man. Everybody's got a kid experimenting with drugs, but I can hold in my hand the kids can come to their dad and say, hey, Dad, here's what's happening in my life. And the reason I want to stop you short, Bill, and tell you now that I'm just thrilled that your kid thinks that he can come to you and talk to you. I don't know where this story's going to go. This could wind up terribly bad, but right now in this story, I want to tell you that it is great, and you should know how lucky you have to have a kid that will come to you, and that you should congratulate yourself for being the kind of dad that kid can come home and go, hey, Dad, this is what's going on in my life. So please, Bill, continue with the story.
So my question is, how do I intervene and convince him that's not the route to go without destroying our relationship?
Well, you know what? I think it's funny because you never know when to stop. You know, if you say, don't do that, I'm your father. Well, there's every chance. And I'm not talking about your kid right now, Bill. I'm talking about every kid. Well, you know, your kid tells you what's going on in his life. And if it's unprotected sex, it's drinking too much, it's hanging out with the wrong crowd, the thing you want to say is stop that right now. I'm your dad. Don't do it anymore. But what can happen, and oftentimes does, is the kid isn't going to talk to you anymore. That's not what he's looking for. I think if you want to go without sending your child, you know, and making crazy things, I don't think your kid... Do you know how many times your kid's taken these hallucinogenic drugs?
Probably 5 or 6.
Yeah, you know what I'm going to do, and I'm going to get a lot of mail about this. To be my don't call out the fire department. First of all, hallucinogenic drugs... they don't have the same, like, if he's taking opiates and heroin and things like that, he could be in 5 or 6 times, he could be all addicted. Hallucinogenic drugs don't really work like that. Do you get any indication? Do you know much about hallucinogenics, Bill?
Just from other people have told me.
Okay, well, I know a little, not a lot. I've taken them just about as many times as your son has. I don't think anything tragic is going to happen. I think, you know, has he ever told you, does he tell you that he loves them? Does he say, God, you should try these, Dad, they're the greatest thing since sliced bread?
Yeah, he's asked me to try them.
Well, that's a don't, by the way, Bill. There's no reason to be that much of a great dad. Let me try these with your son. But they're, you know what? They're a pain in the ass. They're not the kind of drugs that most people, and you can look this up. I'm not just saying this from a personal attitude. They're not the kind of drugs people get addicted to, for the most part. They're a lot of work. Coming down is kind of a hassle. Here's my recommendation for you, Bill, and it's the best I can do for you right now. Still be the kind of dad that you are. Don't say stop, which you should, he should. And you can say, I'd love it if you stopped, kid, but don't do the I'm your dad, here's what decision you're going to make. Stay the kind of dad he can and will talk to, and I think this too shall pass. I don't think they're the kind of fun he's looking for. You know, if you'd have called me and said he's done 100 times by now, I think everything's going to be all right. Just have continued nice talks with your son, tell him you don't like it, you don't love it. You could go on the internet and find what information you can with your son, so he can say, oh, look, there's this guy, he took acid in high school, and he went on to be great, Dad. And you can say, yeah, well, here's all these guys that didn't. Keep the door open with your son, and I think everything's going to work out. Bill, relax. Once again, congratulations on being that dad.
This is Danny Bonaduce, Life Coach. He is solving all of your problems. If you've got one, he is available to you. Jay in Seattle, you're the next caller.
Hi, Jay.
Hey, how's it going?
What's up, man?
Hey, so I'm calling. So I have PTSD from a bad job I used to have.
Yeah.
Just pretty, like, a really hostile work environment. It was just the nature of the work. Anyways, I haven't really had
Was the work dangerous, or was the work, you just had coworkers that were just terribly mean to you or something?
I was a counselor at a mental institution with mostly really hostile clients.
Right.
And I was attacked basically on, like, a daily basis.
All right, no, I can see it now. That's not what I was thinking when I put it in my mind now. I'm working at a psych ward. I got your PTSD. There, I see it. I got it. All right, go on.
Okay, so I haven't had that many problems with it for about a year or so. because then I kind of left the job at that point, and I actually made a lot of really good changes in my life. Like,
Awesome.
I used to drink and smoke heavily. I haven't done any of those in the past 6 months.
Really?
Yep.
Good on you. So what do you do now? You have the kind of PTSD that it affects your daily life, right?
Yeah, basically, if I see anything like on TV, like I can't watch any crime shows or anything like that because I'll get flashbacks.
That's all right. They suck. I've seen them. So let me ask you this: are you treating your PTSD? Have you seen a doctor?
Well, I've actually been wanting to try to find a counselor. I just can't afford one right now.
There, especially with PTSD, there are counselors out there. You're gonna have to look around, do some legwork. But there are people who will see you just because it's part of their job. They're part of state recommended and state done PTSD counselors. They're out there, and all you got to do is find them. But I'm surprised with a guy with severe, or moderate to severe PTSD that you have not seen a medical doctor and you're not taking some kind of medication.
Well, you see, like I said, I haven't had any problems with it lately. Besides, I know not to watch like the bad kinds of TV and stuff like that. But I recently took a job as a security guard.
Yeah.
At a QFC, and on Monday I had a really dangerous situation. Like I had someone like threatening me and stuff, and I just had a really bad breakdown after I got home about it.
Yeah.
And then just this whole week hasn't been the same because for the most part, as long as I stood away from triggers, I was okay.
Well, I say that they said that with me trying to quit drinking. If you stay away from triggers, everything's a trigger. The liquor distorts the trigger. The guy, the homeless dude on the corner that's got a bottle. Certain kinds of cars that I've sat in the back of and had drinks. Everything's a trigger, man. So, you need to stay away from it. Here, I'm going to give you a website that might be able to help you out. Because I'm saying if you're not finding the counselor that can work for you and you don't have any money, maybe I can help you out here. You got a pencil on you?
Yes, I do.
You ready? Here it is. D as in David, S as in Sam, H as in House, S as in Sam, .wa.gov. And that's the Department of Social and Health Services. And they should be able to help you out, man. Because you know what? Just because you didn't get it in Iraq, it doesn't mean it shouldn't be treated. So that's an address for you. And look it out. And I believe they will help you out, man. Good luck, Jay.
The next caller for Danny Bonaduce Life Coach is Gretchen in Seattle.
Gretchen in Seattle.
Hey, Danny,
Hey.
how are you? I need a second opinion.
I'm here.
Okay, well, I had my performance appraisal for last year just the other day.
Mm-hmm.
And the way they do it at the company where I work is you have performance objectives, and each one has a percentage, and they all add up to 100. So my overall rating was lower than all of my individual objective scores.
That's interesting.
Except for the last one, which was only 5% of my performance objectives. And so that led to me being put on a performance improvement plan.
Right.
And also, I'm not able to get a raise for
Right.
this year. So the numbers don't add up. It's not mathematical. They just gave me a
No, when I was
lower
listening
score.
to it, I thought maybe I'm missing something. The numbers don't add up. If you knew, and you don't need to correct me if I'm wrong, because if I'm wrong, it's just the flip side of this. Your overall, like in doing your hair and typing and filing and building buildings was an 8, and you have 3 or 4 8s. But your overall is less than 3 or 4 8s combined. That mathematically does not work out. Is that what happened?
Correct.
All right. Here's my question for you, because they're not stupid people, or they wouldn't be giving you this test. Maybe that particular the individual is devoid of all the other scores. That if you don't drive a car well, that has nothing to do with your overall score. So your low score on car driving wouldn't affect your overall score. So that's what I'm thinking. Is your overall score is void of it does not have any attachment to the individual task assessment. So what is your question for me?
Well, I called our employee assistance program, and that counselor they put me in touch with said, "Oh yeah, I've seen this before," and I told him, they're only doing this to the top performers, the senior personnel in the company, which
Right.
I am a part of, and they're doing it to save money.
Yeah, well, you know what? We're seeing that in all sorts of corporations, what people are doing to save money right now. So what it does, it affects you from not getting a raise, and that's their explanation for not giving you a raise. They can say your performance did not add up, and they don't have to say, hey, we're just cutting back. Is that right?
Right.
Is your question to me, what should I do about this?
Yes.
I'm going to
That's
go
my
with, to be honest, I hate to do this. I'd love to always go, here's what you do. You barge into that guy's office and you demand this and you demand that. I don't think you are going to win this. I think in these times, and if I'm wrong, please go do whatever you want. You're lucky, we're all lucky to have jobs. If you're getting, you're not getting a raise because I think you deserve a raise. I think you deserve a raise more than some of the other people there. But I think they're telling you the truth because stuff that's going on with CBS, that's our parent corporation. Some that's going on with corporations I've worked with my friends where they work. I think they're telling you the truth in a very subversive way. They're not going to spend any more money, and it's their ass on the line if they don't find a way to cut back. And what they did is they gave poor people poor performance scores. And it's not fair. It's not right. You want to sue them? Don't do it. You're just going to lose all day long. Take this for what it's worth, and you'll get the raise next time. But good luck on this one. Thank you very much for the call, Gretchen. That's all the time we have. Spectacular life coach today. Thank you so much for your phone calls. Life coach brought to you by Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE.